All right, in this video, we're going to talk about technical SEO for local businesses or local SEO. So let's jump right into it. Now, why should you care about technical SEO? And that is a great question. If there is a problem in your technical SEO and you ignore it, no matter how much other SEO work that you do, it will not matter and will not do anything. SEO is kind of like building a huge skyscraper. Before you build one, you want to make sure that the foundation is solid and it's stable. And SEO is the same thing. Before investing money into content and links, you need to ensure that your technical SEO foundation is set up properly. Take the time to look over your website, ensure it's all good, and then press on the gas for SEO. And here are the things that you need to look at before you fully invest into SEO. Let me just be clear and define what I mean by technical SEO. Technical SEO refers to fixing any technical aspects of the website to ensure that Google can easily crawl, index, and understand your website. The goal here is to just make sure that your website ranks fast, is secure, and is structured to improve your chances of ranking higher on Google, which will ultimately get you more leads and more customers. So let's go through some of these technical SEO things to check. The first thing that you should check for is any broken link on your website. So a broken link is any link on your website that points to another page on also your website, but leads to a non-existent page. So let's say there's this page on the left from the Baker Brothers, and there's a link that says Solar Attic Fan. So you would expect that if a user clicks on that, it would take them to the Solar Attic Fan page. So if a user clicked on that and it took them to the page not found, that is an example of a broken link. So why is this a problem? There's two main reasons. The first one is this creates a terrible user experience. Broken links frustrate users, making them less likely to stay on your website and become a customer. And the second one is SEO impact. Google knows which websites have a lot of broken links, and they see this as a sign of poor web maintenance. It is a general trend that all the websites that rank at the top typically have very little broken links. If you want to fix this, you can use a very simple website like SiteLiner, or you can just input your link and see all of the broken links on your website. So if you want to see any broken link, you can use the Check My Links Chrome extension, and it'll tell you any broken link that you have on the page. So the next one is any duplicate content. So these are blocks of texts on a page that are identical across multiple pages. You want Google to understand that each page is there for a very specific reason. But when you have a lot of duplicate content, Google gets confused on what each page is really meant for. It's fine if you have sections that are repeated in your pages, but try to make as much of the content on each page as unique as possible if you can. And again, you can use SiteLiner to fix and address this problem. The next one is an SSL certificate. So these are certain certificates that you can add on your website to let Google know that sensitive information is being protected on this website. Websites that do not have an SSL certificate get shown a website not secure message, scaring them away, which leads to less customers. So this is what they would see if they try to access your website and there's no SSL certificate. So you should care about this because Google prioritizes websites that have SSL certificates. You will rank less if you do not have an SSL certificate, which will again lead to less customers. So if I just search for Dallas Roofing Company, you'll see that every single one of these websites that rank have an SSL certificate. The next one is page speed. People are very impatient these days. So if your website is slow, many people will click off in hopes that the next website that they click on will be much faster, resulting in you, again, having less customers. So you can use a tool like Google PageSpeed to analyze the speed of your website. It'll give you a performance score of how long it took for Google to load the page for both mobile and desktop. So you want the score to be at least 50. And you should even do an extra measure of using the website yourself on your computer or on your phone, and ask yourself if you're actually finding yourself waiting to use the page. If you feel that you wait a bit longer than usual to access your page, then usually that indicates that there's a problem. There's 3 very easy ways to make your website faster. The first one, and the most common one, is to just compress any images that you have on your website. More than often, we see so many websites that just have large, huge, raw images that are not compressed on their website. That's making it super slow. The second one is to just get a better hosting server. So every website is hosted on some platform somewhere, and the server that you use to host your website has a big influence on how fast that loads for all of your customers. So just make sure that you choose a really good and reputable hosting company. And then the third one is to enable caching on your website. If you have WordPress, there are many different tools and plugins that you can use to enable caching. The next one is website security. You should do everything in your power to ensure that your website never gets hacked. And I mean like never. If your website gets hacked, it will be extremely hard for Google to trust your website again. And that's because Google wants to do everything in its power to ensure that it never shows a hacked website to its users. Because if Google shows a hacked website on its results page and someone goes to that website from Google, Google's reputation is worsened because they are showing hacked websites, and this is a bad user experience. So if you're on WordPress, be responsible, install a plugin like WordFence to monitor any threats and prevent any unauthorized logins. And you should also add two-factor authentication to all your users on your website. And the last one that you should check is just mobile responsiveness. Your website has to work on all devices. You'd be surprised. There are so many users that are just using websites on phones. It's probably closer to 70 or 80% of the websites that we work on. So the majority of users come from mobile devices. If your website is not usable on mobile devices, you will have people spend less time on your website or just immediately clicking away, which will just, again, lead to less customers. There are many tools to see if your website works on mobile or not. In this case, I have Google Chrome. I right-clicked and pressed on Inspect Element and clicked on the mobile icon to see what my website would look like on a mobile device. Or the easier method is to just scroll your website through your own phone and just see if it's easy to use or not. So those are the foundational things that you should check on your website before you press on the gas pedal and do more SEO work. Hope you found this useful. If you have any questions, leave them down below, and I'll see you guys soon.